I'm Amanda LaPlante, and I'm here at Catalyst Pain Management with JR Burgess. I'm an integrative health coach, and I want to talk a little bit about what integrative health coaching is. So there are lots of different reasons that the body gets a little out of balance, right? So we know that 90% of diseases diagnosed today are actually rooted in chronic inflammation. So what causes inflammation? Inflammation can be caused by dietary factors, environmental toxins, injury, of course, is a type of inflammation, right? But stress is often very much overlooked, and stress comes from a variety of lifestyle factors. So it's really interesting to dig in to what some of those lifestyle factors are, and that's kind of the integrative approach. We're not just looking at diet, but we're really looking at the whole spectrum of a person's life and all the different factors that are feeding into what might be causing stress for them, which is going to result in that inflammation.
So let's talk about both your and I experience and how we've helped support integrative practitioners really be the bridge to helping patients have better outcomes. So meaning the doctors are in a model today where they still have to see X amount of visits to keep the lights on, are specialized in having to know compliance, medications, the labs, every test that we're doing, and they weren't trained to be coaches. They weren't trained to really course correct. They were trained to be experts. Here's the problem, here's your 3 options. And that's where we've seen the shift and the change, even working with integrative practitioners. Now the doctor has an hour and a half to work with them, but that's not enough. When we're talking about a lifestyle of these 7 factors, from stress to relational, to financial, to emotional, to food, to unpack all that and get far ahead in a 1, 3, 6 month area is very, very difficult, even if you're seeing an integrative practitioner. So tell me a little bit about how we take the time to look at that inflammation from all these areas that just can't be done in a normal clinic setting.
Well, and it's interesting because a lot of times people come in and they've got one issue, but we sit down and we start diving in during the coaching session, and I have a circle of life. It's actually 12 different areas that I look at in my approach. And they kind of go through and they put a dot where they think they are on each of these areas, and then they connect the dots, and that's their circle. And usually when we start out, it doesn't look much like a circle. And it's really interesting how they came in for one issue and suddenly they realize, gosh, spirituality is important to me and it's not been part of my life for years. Or, my relationships are completely out of balance. I'm having these arguments with these important people in my life, and it's causing a lot of stress for me. Or perhaps they're in a career, if you're working in a career 40 hours a week where it's just diametrically opposed to who you are as a human being, you're probably not going to be healthy. So it's interesting to have those conversations and to give people that space to start to really investigate those lifestyle factors that have everything to do with your health.
Absolutely. The root cause is what we're trying to do at functional test. It does no good to get a lab and see you're deficient in testosterone or vitamin D and not address the source. You could take a supplement, but if you don't address why the deficiency happened in the first place, then even if we're integrative, we're still masking on some level of the sources of these inflammation. Is it I'm not in nature all day because I'm in the office? Am I, not able to absorb it above a certain border or boundary in our country? Is it because I'm not happy at home or work? If you are unhappy at your job or in your relationships, you're literally the soul of your life is getting sucked from you on one level or another, and we only have so much energy or capacity to be happy. And when I first started coaching people, I would always see and ask, what is the most important thing to you? And so many would say family first. But their health was like a 4. They're on 3 medications. They're dealing with chronic disease. And I have to help people as a coach rethink. So tell me what the ultimate family life would mean like to you guys. Is that you travel and you're doing there? And why I'm asking these questions is saying, well, what do you need in order to live this way? Well, we got to have good finances, good health to do these things. So it's like, okay, so I get family's number 1, but if we don't make health our priority right now, then we're not going to be able to live this family plan that we really have in store. So it's helping people see differently, because in order to change, something has to change, because every human or person is perfectly designed for the results that they produce. If you want to lose weight but don't change anything, it's hard to imagine that will change. So we are here to look at the whole picture, help identify blind spots, give suggestions, help you select what you think you could basically take on right now, because that's the most important. I can tell you to quit smoking and give up your pop and you're like, heck no, then it's just not going to go anywhere. We need to collaborate together, and you need to choose which is the best moves for you.
And most importantly, I love that we're here as coaches to remind you there is always something more that can be done.
Yes.
Always. And it may not always be the obvious thing, but there is always another step.
I love that. And that's our last step on every one of our visits, our protocols, is next step. Health is a never-ending journey. I've gone through mine, had numerous treatments over the last year, and it's like, okay, now I've been doing yoga very consistently the last 90 days. Now I'm going to add the Tai Chi or the meditation. I haven't quite decided, but stack that habit. Let's continue this upward spiral of getting you the life that you want and on the course to continue to have it all.
Staying open-minded and staying curious and staying fueled, right? To keep, again, just keep taking that next step and being open to all of those experiences, because yes, it is a journey, it is not a destination. And most likely this is the moment you've been waiting for.
Absolutely. So the next step, if you're willing to partake and ready to change your life, is to schedule an assessment with Amanda or myself to where we could look at some of your options, whether you're dealing with chronic pain, have low fatigue or energy, or struggling to lose that last 10 pounds, whatever it want. We'd love to show you a few options. We present a few different options in every visit just so we can meet you where you're at, and I would love the opportunity to help you see something differently and give you a care plan that I don't think you've seen elsewhere. We'd love the opportunity to speak with you.
Let us be your catalyst.
Thank you.